Absolutely avoid these actions during a cruise if you hope to have other travelers accept you. A single thoughtless act can transform your perfect getaway into 7 days of hostile glances, hushed grievances, and icy treatment. Ships function as waterborne communities. When thousands of individuals are crammed together in limited space, minor irritations quickly escalate into major issues. We're examining 13 shipboard actions that immediately earn the hatred of fellow travelers. These aren't general travel suggestions. They're actual behaviors that staff and experienced cruisers identify as atmosphere destroyers for all aboard. Number 1. Pool chair hogging. We'll begin with the error that earns disapproving stares before you've even settled in. Envision this scenario. It's 7 a.m. Dawn has barely broken, yet the pool area is already blanketed with towels, sandals, and various books marking claimed seats. However, the individuals who placed them there are completely absent. Time passes. They're eating breakfast in their rooms, or perhaps exploring the destination. Still, their towel remains positioned like a silent stay-away message. This represents one of the quickest methods to become the ship's most despised traveler. Monopolizing a pool chair isn't simply securing a location. You're denying another person's opportunity to enjoy one of the vessel's most sought-after spaces. During crowded periods, seating becomes limited, and your vacant towel-draped chair transforms into a massive sign declaring, "My needs supersede everyone else's." This creates friction, ignites disputes, and occasionally forces staff into uncomfortable situations when they must remove your belongings. Fellow passengers take note of who hoards chairs, and believe me, they retain that memory. You'll notice them shooting disapproving looks while passing, grumbling quietly, and possibly even capturing photos for later cruise forum posts. It's the type of petty conflict you don't want haunting your remaining vacation days. Here's the twist. Numerous cruise companies maintain anti-chair saving rules, though enforcement varies inconsistently. This means travelers frequently handle matters personally, relocating your items or confronting you face-to-face. Regardless, it becomes an uncomfortable situation that can spoil everyone's day. Number 2. Cutting in buffet lines. If this seems problematic, prepare for the following behavior. One that doesn't merely irritate people, but can provoke open confrontation during mealtime. You're moving slowly through the buffet queue, eyeing that final platter of perfectly golden shrimp. Everyone waits courteously until someone suddenly approaches from the side, takes a plate, and begins loading it generously. "No, pardon me. No, may I just take one item?" Nothing. Simply brazen line jumping as though queuing rules don't concern them. Few actions generate such immediate fury aboard a cruise as this maneuver. Buffet queues are delicate systems. Hundreds of famished travelers lined up orderly, attempting to maximize their restricted dining periods. When someone decides rules don't apply to them, it disrupts everything. Those behind you must now wait longer. Tempers rise. You can literally sense the atmosphere's tension, rigid postures, eye-rolling, and whispered remarks rippling through the line like a current. Line cutting also projects entitlement and disrespect, particularly to regular cruisers who appreciate order and equity. After pulling such a stunt, news travels rapidly. People communicate, and on a ship, you can't escape your reputation. You might discover people staring at you in the theater later, still recalling you as that queue jumper. Here's the harsh reality. Some will confront you immediately, transforming your quick snack attempt into a public dispute. Others may silently resent you, but the harm is complete. You've created a bitter taste before they've even taken their first bite. Number 3. Slamming cabin doors. If line cutting seems wrong, the following occurs when you're not even visible publicly, but can still disturb neighbors throughout the night. It's 1:30 a.m. The corridor is silent, the vessel rocks gently, and passengers are finally falling asleep. Then crash. A cabin door slams with such force it reverberates down the passageway. Moments later, it repeats again and again. Welcome to one of the fastest methods for creating enemies on a cruise without ever seeing them. Ship cabins feature thin walls and narrow corridors. Every noise travels, and door slams function like miniature sonic explosions that instantly wake people. Late at night or early morning, it's not merely bothersome, it's genuinely disruptive. You're destroying the one thing everyone values during vacation: rest. The issue worsens with repetition. Perhaps it's a party returning from the nightclub, laughing and slamming doors thoughtlessly, or a family with children running in and out during an early port excursion. Whatever the cause, it transforms your neighbors into sleep-deprived zombies who begin fearing your door more than the muster drill alarm. People recall this conduct. You might never encounter the passengers you awakened, but they'll recognize you in the hallway, and not positively. On smaller vessels, word spreads about the noisy cabin, making you the traveler others silently wish had remained home. Number 4. Monopolizing hot tubs. If this seems bad, wait for the next one. A move that converts relaxing luxury into your personal keep-out zone for hours. It's a pleasant afternoon at sea, and the hot tubs bubble invitingly under sunshine. You approach, hoping to unwind briefly, only to discover every spot occupied by the identical group who've remained there all day, beverages in hand, music streaming from someone's portable device, and absolutely no plans to leave. It's not simply inconsiderate. It's the aquatic equivalent of claiming a park bench and challenging anyone to join you. Ship hot tubs are communal areas, typically with only a few available. Occupying one for hours prevents others from enjoying them. This isn't just an inconvenience. It breeds rapid resentment. People walk past, notice the same faces repeatedly, and begin muttering about those individuals who think they own everything. It worsens when monopolizers treat the tub like their private party space, chatting loudly, abandoning empty glasses on edges, or even consuming food in the water. This transforms what should be shared luxury into something awkward and unwelcoming. For some passengers, joining a clearly established group feels intimidating, so they skip the hot tub entirely, and they don't forget who prevented them from using it. Crew members rarely intervene unless violations occur, so this poor habit often continues unchecked, though not unobserved. People remember faces, and if you're the hot tub monopolizer, you might experience silent backlash throughout your trip. Number 5. Skipping hand washing stations. If hot tub hogging seems problematic, the following behavior doesn't just annoy people. It makes them actively avoid your vicinity. You're entering the buffet, and directly at the entrance stands a clear sign, a sink, and sometimes even a smiling crew member reminding guests to wash hands. Most people invest the 20 seconds required. But then there's that individual who breezes past, as if rules don't matter. No soap, no rinse, not even a symbolic water splash. It's a minor act that gets immediately noticed and judged. On a cruise vessel, hygiene isn't merely personal preference, it's everyone's concern. Illness spreads rapidly in such confined quarters, and skipping the hand-washing station endangers the entire ship. Experienced cruisers understand norovirus and other nasty illnesses that have destroyed complete vacations. When you walk past without washing, you're essentially declaring, "I'm willing to risk your health to save 20 seconds." You're not just offending fellow passengers either. Crew members witness this constantly. While they may not confront you directly, they certainly remember who ignores protocols. On some ships, they'll even record non-compliance in their reports, especially during heightened health alert periods. This could mean additional scrutiny later, and not favorably. The social consequences can be subtle but genuine. People behind you may quietly avoid touching serving utensils you just used, or they might exchange knowing glances. Once labeled as the non-washer, it's a difficult reputation to overcome, and you'll sense the unspoken tension each time you enter dining areas. Number 6. Being rude to crew members. If skipping a sink seems wrong, the following behavior escalates to an entirely different level, involving treating the very people who make your cruise possible like second-class citizens. They deliver your meals, maintain your cabin, and keep the ship operating smoothly. Yet some passengers still behave as though crew members exist to be commanded without any respect whatsoever. You've witnessed it. Finger snapping for attention, barking orders without please or thank you, or treating minor delays like personal affronts. It's behavior that makes everyone within hearing distance cringe. On a cruise ship, crew members work lengthy, exhausting shifts to satisfy thousands of people. When you treat them as beneath you, it doesn't just ruin their day. It contaminates the atmosphere for those around you. Passengers notice when someone's being rude to staff, leaving a permanent impression. It's the quickest way to earn the label of entitled passenger for your entire trip. The ripple effect is enormous. Crew members communicate with each other, and word spreads quickly about who's pleasant versus who's a nightmare. While they'll still perform their duties professionally, don't expect extra effort or small courtesies if you've established yourself as difficult. Fellow passengers might quietly judge you every time you enter the dining room, remembering when you berated a server over a minor issue. In some instances, repeated rude behavior toward crew can result in official warnings or worse, escort off the ship at the next port. But even without that extreme, you'll discover that an arrogant reputation follows you throughout the vessel. Number 7. Holding elevators for your entire group. If crew rudeness seems bad, the following mistake doesn't just irritate people, it physically prevents their movement. You're on a crowded cruise ship awaiting an elevator that's already taking an eternity. Finally, doors open, but instead of entering, someone positions themselves in the doorway, holding doors while frantically waving for their group, who remain nowhere visible. 30 seconds pass, then a minute. The elevator sits there blocked while everyone inside and outside simmers silently. By the time stragglers arrive, tension is thick enough to slice. Elevators rank among the most heavily utilized amenities on cruise ships. During peak periods, before dinner or after shows, every second matters. When you hold one for your entire group, you're not just inconveniencing people waiting on your floor, you're also delaying everyone on every floor that elevator will visit next. Multiply this by multiple blocked elevators, and you've created a slow-moving, frustrated crowd. The unspoken judgment is immediate. Passengers give disapproving looks, cross arms, and some may even confront you directly. The worst aspect, this type of stunt gets remembered. You'll pass those same faces in hallways later, and they'll instantly recall you as the elevator blocker. On ships where passenger interaction is high, your minor delay can become gossip material, never flatteringly. Elevator holding feels like a small, inconsiderate act at the moment. But on a ship with thousands relying on identical limited resources, it leaves bitterness. Number 8. Hogging railing space during sail away. And if making people wait seems bad, prepare for the following behavior, one that can destroy a picture-perfect moment for dozens of passengers simultaneously. The ship's horn blares, engines rumble, and everyone rushes to outer decks to watch the port disappear into the distance. It's a magical moment, unless you can't witness it because a wall of passengers has stationed themselves at the railing and won't budge. Some lean over with cameras. Others spread their arms to reserve extra space for friends. A few even establish tripods as if filming a documentary. Meanwhile, everyone behind them stares at the backs of heads instead of the open ocean. Sail away represents one of any cruise's highlights, and railing space is limited. When you monopolize those spots for the entire departure, you're stealing others' chances to enjoy the view. People don't just get annoyed, they become resentful, especially if you've been there since before the horn sounded and clearly have no intention of giving anyone else a turn. It worsens when railing monopolizers spread out, leaning elbows and bags in ways that block 2 or 3 potential viewing positions. Add loud conversations, shouting to friends across the deck, or constant selfie-taking without considering the crowd, and you've transformed a shared experience into your private performance stage. Fellow passengers notice and remember. On a cruise where you repeatedly encounter the same faces, your me-first behavior will follow you. People might grumble about you at dinner, avoid you in other public areas, or deliver pointed looks every time you pass. Number 9. Leaving clothes in laundry machines. If view hogging annoys people this much, the following habit is worse. It involves monopolizing something passengers actually need during their trip. You finally find time for laundry on your cruise, a rare moment when the laundry room isn't crowded. But upon arrival, every washer and dryer is occupied and has been for hours. Clothes just sit there, long finished, while their owners are nowhere present. Maybe they've gone to lunch. Maybe they're at the pool. Or perhaps they simply forgot. Regardless, they're holding an entire room hostage. Laundry machines are limited on most ships. During sea days, demand is intense. When someone abandons their clothes in a machine long after the cycle completes, it creates a bottleneck that frustrates everyone. Passengers end up pacing the room, checking back repeatedly, or in some cases, reluctantly moving someone else's laundry just to get a turn, which almost always creates tension. This behavior quickly earns you the inconsiderate label. People remember who hog machines, especially if they had to handle your damp clothes to free up space. The worst part. If you repeat this, you can guarantee whispers about that laundry monopolizer will circulate through the decks. On smaller ships or longer cruises, reputations spread even faster, and your name might arise before you even meet the people discussing you. Sometimes crew members intervene if delays are excessive, but usually other passengers handle it, and they don't forget. On a cruise, shared amenities are precious resources, and monopolizing them without considering others will make you among the most disliked people aboard. Number 10. Being loud in adult-only areas. If laundry hogging seems bad, the following is quieter but far more infuriating, especially for those seeking vacation peace. You head to the adult-only pool or lounge, expecting quiet refuge from busy family areas. The sun is warm, the atmosphere calm, until a group bursts in, conversing at full volume, laughing over music from a portable speaker, and transforming the serene environment into something resembling a pool party. Within minutes, the space intended for relaxation feels chaotic, and the peaceful atmosphere vanishes. Adult-only areas exist purposefully. They provide passengers opportunities to unwind without noise, splashing, or constant activity. When someone treats these spaces like their personal entertainment venue, it's not just inconsiderate. It's the ultimate mood destroyer for everyone around. People come here to read, nap, or simply enjoy ocean sounds, not to overhear a stranger's entire life story shouted across deck chairs. Social fallout is immediate. Other passengers exchange looks, shake heads, and sometimes even relocate to another spot, silently blaming you for driving them away. On ships with limited adult-only seating, this quickly transforms into resentment lasting the entire trip. You might not realize it, but every time you re-enter that space afterward, people will remember you as the loud one. In some cases, crew members will remind guests to maintain quiet. But even if they do, damage is done. Once tranquility breaks, it's difficult to restore. On a cruise, where relaxation is invaluable, disrupting it is among the quickest ways to earn widespread dislike. Number 11. Blocking hallways for photo sessions. If peace-breaking seems problematic, the following behavior doesn't just ruin ambience, it physically blocks people from moving at all. You're walking down a narrow ship hallway, perhaps heading to dinner or rushing to a show, when suddenly you must stop. Directly ahead, a large group has formed a barrier across the corridor, posing for pictures. Luggage obstructs the way, children dart around, and the self-appointed photographer backs into other passengers seeking the perfect shot. For everyone attempting to pass, it's an instant traffic jam. Cruise hallways are designed for movement, not photo sessions. They're often narrow, especially near cabin areas or service corridors, and blocking them even briefly creates rapid frustration. People end up awkwardly waiting or squeezing uncomfortably past, which can be impossible if crew members are maneuvering service carts. Worse is when photo sessions drag on with multiple poses, retakes, and complete obliviousness to the line of people stuck behind. This behavior appears oblivious and self-centered. Even without intentional rudeness, it tells everyone around you that your vacation memories matter more than their time. Passengers remember these moments, especially if they were late to something because of it. You might overhear complaints or notice eye rolling when they see you again in another public space. On a ship with thousands sharing tight quarters, blocking main passageways isn't just inconvenient. It can be a safety hazard during peak times or emergencies. While you might get your perfect hallway photo, you'll also gain a silent reputation as someone who doesn't consider others. Number 12. Leaving trash and mess behind. If hallway gridlock annoys you, the following behavior goes further by leaving a mess everyone else must handle. You're walking to get coffee, and there it is. An empty cup abandoned on a table, a half-eaten food plate left on a lounge chair, or a crumpled napkin blowing across the deck. Sometimes it's worse, sticky drink cans on the floor, scattered popcorn in the theater, or discarded straws clogging poolside drains. On a cruise ship, this isn't just unsightly. It's among the fastest ways to make fellow passengers dislike you. Public ship spaces are shared by thousands, and leaving your mess behind sends a clear message. Someone else can clean up after me. Sure, crew maintains the ship, but they're not your personal cleanup service for every casual snack or drink. The moment someone sees you walk away from your trash without even looking for a bin, they're judging you and probably mentioning it to their companion. The impact exceeds annoyance. Abandoned trash can attract pests, create slip hazards, and ruin the atmosphere for everyone. Imagine trying to relax on the pool deck while someone's sticky drink ring dries into the table beside you, or finding food scraps floating near your lounge chair. It's not just gross. It makes the entire space feel less enjoyable. Here's the thing. Cruise passengers have long memories. If someone catches you abandoning garbage, they'll remember your face. You might hear them mutter about it later in the buffet line, or see them shake their head when you pass. In a closed environment like a ship, reputations spread quickly. The one who leaves trash isn't a title you want. Number 13. Pushing and cutting during disembarkation. If mess leaving annoys people this much, the final behavior on our list brings chaos to another level, especially when the ship attempts to dock. The ship has just docked at a gorgeous new port. The announcement echoes over speakers. Passengers may now disembark. Within minutes, stairwells and gangways are packed. Right in the middle stands a group of passengers pushing, weaving, and cutting ahead, shoving past people, blocking flow, and acting as if they're the only ones with somewhere important to go. Disembarkation is already among the most hectic cruise aspects. Everyone's excited to explore, but there's a process of maintaining safety and efficiency. When you treat the gangway like a personal raceway, you're not just being rude. You're creating dangerous bottlenecks where people can trip, fall, or become separated from their companions. Crew members must intervene to maintain order, slowing things down even more for everyone else. This behavior doesn't go unnoticed. Passengers who waited patiently in lines suddenly find themselves stuck behind an impatient surge, and frustration spreads rapidly. People remember faces in these moments, and on a cruise where you'll inevitably cross paths again in the dining room, theater, or pool, that poor impression will persist. It worsens when pushy disembarkers shout instructions to their group, wave people forward, or physically nudge past others. It's a guaranteed method for earning muttered comments, angry looks, and possibly direct confrontation right there on the gangway. Once you've been identified as one of those passengers, your remaining trip will feel somewhat colder. On a cruise, your behavior during crowded, high-pressure moments reveals much about you. Nothing says selfish louder than attempting to shove your way off the ship before everyone else. And there you have it, 13 cruise ship behaviors that will make other passengers instantly dislike you. Which one have you witnessed most on your trips? Share it in the comments, and let's see which habits drive people the craziest. If you made it all the way to the end, type smooth sailing so I know you're part of the crew that gets it. And if you want to ensure your next trip is drama-free, click here to watch my video on cruise scams the crew will never warn you about. Until next time, enjoy your vacation, and whatever you do, don't become that passenger.